take every opportunity that you have, because there are people out there that are working just as hard as you. And if you don't answer that phone, they'll answer it and they'll take the opportunity from you. There's a quote on our wall and it says, opportunities don't go away, they go to other people. And that's just how it is.
If you still grinding, keep grinding. It's always grass always greener on the other side. If the grass ain't green on the other side, you just gotta go a couple more yards. Everything gonna be all right. Like, just continue to trust it, continue to work, keep your head down. No matter what people are gonna tell you, man, you just gotta believe in yourself.
Put my head down, working, and then waiting for my opportunity. And as soon as it came, and I had to seize it.
Welcome back to another episode of the DJ Henderson Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Henderson, and this is Season 4, Episode 10. Season 4 has come to an end, so we had to finish the season off right and go out with a bang. Today's episode features Tampa Florida native Tyson Ward. Tyson is an 813 product who played high school ball at Tampa Prep High School and continued his college career at North Dakota State University. After doing his part in his 4 years at North Dakota State University and helping to put the program on the map, he was able to follow his dream to play pro ball overseas, where he's currently in his second year in Germany. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Tyson Ward, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you coming on here. It means a lot to me. Somebody I've been watching from afar for a long time, coming up in the city. Really happy for you playing pro this year. Second year. It's been pretty cool just seeing your progress, seeing you go from Tampa Prep, North Dakota State. Now you're living out your dream playing pro ball. So I appreciate you being on here. It means a lot to me.
I appreciate you, bro. It's cool, bro. It's good to talk to somebody from the city. It's good to see. I've been watching y'all. All y'all. The younger generation, I guess. I'm not that much older than you, but it's good to see y'all. Still hooping and trying to do something. Creative. It's smooth, bro.
For sure. Like we said, we both from Tampa, Florida. Talk to me about your upbringing in Tampa and what the city means to you.
City means everything, man. Like, you defend the city with all your heart. You know what I'm saying? People ask where you're from, you say it proud. You're from Tampa, Florida. Everybody talks about all the new stuff about football and baseball, this stuff, hockey, all the sports going on. But, the city itself, man, got a lot of talent, got a lot of good people, just a great place to be. I can't get enough of my city, man.
For sure. That's definitely the more recent theme. Just everybody talking about the Bucks, the Lightning, and two-peated recently. The Rays always do pretty good. So I like to tell people where I'm from, and they always ask about the Bucks. They ask about the beaches, all the typical stuff. But I like to tell people it's a lot of up-and-coming talent, all sports, rap, art, all kind of stuff. Just a good city overall, for sure.
Thanks.
You play basketball. Obviously, you're a pro hooper right now. Talk to me about how you got introduced to basketball and what was your first hoop memory?
I've been pretty much around basketball all my life, man. Pops play overseas, college basketball, that good stuff. So, he worked at IMG too. So he's just been around the game so much. I've been surrounded by professionals, been surrounded by my peers, even playing college basketball, high school, like younger. So, I don't know, man. It's just my first memory was probably like and it's crazy, when I was 2 years old, bro. I remember my pops playing overseas, and I just remember all the little aesthetics, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had little foam Coca-Cola dudes just dancing on the sidelines, bro. And it's just little things like that made me, remember the game of basketball for me. But I've been around it all my life, man. I had to pick whether it be baseball or basketball, and basketball just had my heart, man.
For sure. You talked about your dad, Coach Ward. He's a very important piece to basketball in our community, the Tampa Bay area. He played pro ball overseas. What's it like having somebody like that in your corner that knows the game inside and out, and that's been where you want to be or where you are right now?
Oh, man, I can't thank my dad enough, man. But yeah, what he does, man, is it's awesome for the community too. But it's good, man. It's good to have someone in your corner that's been there and done that. To give you the resources. Sometimes you be in your ear a little bit too much, But I mean, you can't get rid of a good father, man. That's what he is, and I can't thank him enough. He's the reason why I'm here now, and it's just I'm just truly blessed, to have a dude like that in my life.
For sure. Growing up, my dad coached me when I was younger playing AAU ball, and like you said, sometimes you hear it too much, but I definitely
Be
appreciate
way
it.
too much sometimes, bro.
Yeah, I could picture what it was like for you. I seen your dad coach a bunch of times all over, so I already know what it was kind of like for you. My first time seeing you play basketball was with the Tampa Bay Ambassadors when you were younger. Talk to me about your team back then and what you guys were like back then.
Wow. I'm still like those are my boys to this day, man. Like, those are some of my best friends, man. And to be honest, bro, back in the day, I didn't even play like that. It was all them dudes that was playing. So like, I was just, I was on the end of the bench clapping it up, making all them defensive chants, bro. But those are the dudes like, that made me better, because I wanted to play. Like my thing was I was so tired of sitting on the bench and being the guy that got the end of the game minutes when you're up by 30, because you're beating everybody in Tampa. So like, I just wanted to be out there when it really mattered. So, it just those dudes really inspired me to work, to gain their respect and be on their level. Those my boys. I love them. Like to this day, like we talk every single day. Those are memories and like friends that I'll never forget. So it was a blast, bro. Like it's it's crazy.
Most definitely. I feel like everybody that's played ball for a long time feels that way. Like the guys you grow up with, playing with your local teams, a lot of the time, obviously people move on to bigger things a lot of the time once you get older. But those guys that you started playing the game with AAU ball, making memories, a lot of the time, like I can't even remember a lot of my actual games from back then, but you remember the hotel trips and all the little stuff, all the stuff outside of the game for sure. And I feel like that was the
Absolutely.
best time of my life, really playing basketball for sure.
100%. You gotta cherish them moments, bro. Gotta
Definitely,
cherish them.
most definitely. You talked about starting to work harder. What was it like when you started to take the game serious, and when was that point?
I mean, I started to take it seriously like when I started to get into my freshman year in high school. I still wasn't really good. I was still playing JV, but like I had my mindset on playing basketball, and I had my mindset on playing baseball. But those two, the seasons counteracted, so I just kind of was like picking one at the time. So it wasn't until like really my sophomore year, like end of my sophomore year, I really chose like to start working hard. And luckily, I went from being 5'6" to like 6 foot in the matter of a year, and then I kept growing. So that definitely helped me out a lot. But I was in the gym in the mornings, or I was in the gym late at night after practice, just working. Dudes tell you that, hey, you're not gonna get here. Just adding fuel to the fire, and it just it's the grind. I was just grinding, man. Just it wasn't really I always talk a lot, but at that point, like I wasn't saying much. Just put my head down, working, and then waiting for my opportunity. And as soon as it came, man, I had to seize it.
For sure. Talked about getting to high school. You went to one of our area's most prestigious high schools, Tampa Prep High School. Talk to me about getting there and what that was like.
Oh man, it's different for sure. Not a lot of brothers and sisters in there, so it wasn't really it was a culture shock for me a little bit because I was used to being around a different environment all the time. So at first it was definitely hard, but as time went on, you make friends with people in your class, and um, then you realize that you want to do other things, and you start getting interest with them, and you start hanging out with them. And I still got buddies I still hang out with from high school basketball to this day. Um, Basketball aspect, it's one of the best schools for basketball, I guess. Back in the day. I mean, I hope they still are now, but times might change. But yeah, man, it was a blast. We had a lot of big games, a lot of college coaches because of Juwan in the house. So it was just, a lot of, back then, I had a lot of people going to Berkeley. So the matchups, TC had a lot of good players.
So, it's just constant high talent. Like you're playing every single game. So it was a lot of fun, man. And I loved going to school there, bro. I can't even lie to you.
Definitely. You mentioned Juwan, your guy. I remember coming up, he was just probably, John Henson, along with him, he's probably the biggest high school player come through our city. He's playing pro now. I just saw recently. Talk to me about your relationship with him and what it was like playing with him in high school.
It's my best friend, dog. That's my boy. Man, just it's tough, when you talk about Juwan, because Juwan's always been, that dude around, So, when I was coming to high school, man, it was just I had to be around him. I was just like, man, I want whatever he's doing to get better, I gotta do it. Like whatever he's doing to play at that level, I gotta do it. So like I'm trying to see what he's doing, and he's just working, just keeping his head down, working, not being a bother, he's just working. So, that kind of, motivated me as well, to, get on that level. Because he, one of the top 50 in the state, top 50 in the nation at one point. You want to get there. You want to get there. You want to be talked about when they talk about who's the best player on the team. You know what I'm saying? So that was a goal of mine, and we just became friends because dudes that hoop and have the same aspirations, and can coexist with working out and like trying to be that dude is a dangerous team. So junior year, before he got injured, we were probably the best team in Tampa. So it was just it was a long process for before me and him like became real cool, but it's like hard work together brings people together. So that's how it kind of was with me and him.
Definitely. I kind of can relate. My high school career, my little running mate, he wasn't a big man, but it was Darren Green. He goes to UCF right now. Real good player. He's a shooter. Kind of different from Juwan, of course, but I feel the same way. Like he's a high level player, one of the top players in the country coming out of high school, and we just kind of just grew a close bond, just being around each other from like we said, the days when we were playing AAU ball as little kids to high school. Now he's at UCF doing big things. So I understand definitely just what it's like seeing somebody like that, just seeing the work ethic, the time they put in, people not really seeing what goes on behind the scenes, but they see the finished product and understanding that it takes a lot of hard work to be that kind of player. So I definitely can relate somewhat to what you're saying. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Also at Tampa Prep, you had a legendary head coach, Coach Finland. Talk to me about playing for him and what his influence on you was.
Coach Finland saved me from getting in a lot of trouble a lot in school. People don't know that Coach Finland is like is the dean of the middle school, and so I started to go to school in there in middle school. So he saved me so many times. Like I was just a little bad kid running around the school, and I can't thank him enough for what he's done for me. To this day, every time I go home, like I go see Coach Finland. At least, well, I'm there all the time, but I gotta see Coach Finland. He had a tremendous impact in my life, man. Can't thank him enough for everything that he's done for me. Playing for him is a blast, man. He lets you rock. He lets you do you. He knows what you're good at, and he'll try to get you better at what you're not good at as well. When it comes to practice, so orient the practice towards what the team needs to work on and what specific people need to work on as well. But he never came at you wrong. Like he might have given you some tough criticism, but at the end of the day, like every basketball player that wants to be somewhere needs somebody like that in their corner. And it is an honor to play for a legendary coach like that. There's not too many people that can say they played for a Hall of Famer in the coaches basketball and Florida's basketball association. So I was truly blessed with someone like that in my corner.
For sure. Again, I kind of can relate. I played at Wharton High School, Coach Tonelli, those guys. I think they're pretty good friends when they coach against each other. You can't really tell. I feel like they're kind of similar. I feel like Coach T might be a little bit more
crazy.
Yeah, it might be a
It'd
little
be crazy.
but they both cut from the same cloth, legendary coaches. So I understand. It's also an honor for me to play at Wharton High School for Coach T. Definitely a lot of similarities there. What were you able to accomplish overall at Tampa Prep?
Becoming who I am now, man. Just filling out my confidence, my swagger, my demeanor, how I approach the game. You know, when Jawan got hurt, you know, I wouldn't say there was nobody else. You know, I had my point guard as well, but there wasn't a lot of um, help like you could really have. So like, you know, you had dudes that were trying to play college basketball and you had dudes that were gonna stop after high school. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that year, my senior year really helped me define what I was gonna become if I wanted to play college basketball. So if I had to go out and score 20, I had to go score 20. If I needed to be, you know, make my teammates better, if I needed to give my teammate confidence, you know, it just helped me bring my game all together and make my identity of what type of player I would be. So that's kind of that's what Tampa Prep really like that those couple of years really did for me. Really helped me bring my identity to life.
For sure. We talked about your younger days playing AAU for the Tampa Bay Ambassadors. You kind of finished up your career playing with Q6, an independent AAU team. Talk to me about your experience playing with them.
Now they really helped me helped me with a big aspect part of my game, man. They just turned me into a dog, man. I can't thank them enough as well. Coach Willie, Coach Merck, Coach Perry, man, everybody over there just like when I say like they'll let you know like what it is cutting cloth, like Coach Finland, like he'll let you know cutting cloth, but they'll let you know like with a little bit of to it. You feel me? So you know those dudes really shaped me um, mentally. I would say mentally, like they helped me get out of my comfort zone, doing things that I don't like to do. But when the time came to play, they're gonna put you in the right spots. They know what you're gonna be good at. Those dudes played college basketball. Those dudes have played overseas. Coach Willie played at LSU. Coach Perry played in Puerto Rico, no, the DR, and then Puerto Rico. Like those dudes got a lot of basketball knowledge, and they know what they're doing, and they shape me and a whole bunch of other dudes that like are playing at G League level overseas. I don't think they get enough talk, bro. I really don't. So I just want to get my chance to, you know, let people know that Q6 really will help you shape where you want to go when it comes to playing basketball. They'll help you out a lot. They have the resources with the coaches, college coaches. They'll put you right in the right circuits. They know the right tournaments to be in, where people are going to be at. They're gonna help you out a lot, and they're not gonna sugarcoat it. If you can't play, you can't play, and they're not gonna sugarcoat it. They're gonna be real with you. So they helped me out a lot, man. They really kept it a buck with me and helped me out mentally, physically, and they helped me shape my game just like Coach Runler did.
For sure. I think, like you said, they don't get enough credit for what they do with the teams that they have and the players that they end up getting. It's an independent team. Obviously, there's the high level teams that are on the circuit that are sponsored by shoe companies and stuff like that. But when you look at their track record, like I remember, I don't know how long ago it was, but I saw them make a post on Twitter about all the guys that they had playing in college and at levels beyond college. And it was kind of like mind blowing just to think that they didn't have a shoe deal or any any 5-star players or like people that just jump off the page. Like it's just a bunch of guys that work hard. Obviously, their coaching staff, like you said, they do their job, work hard, and get the right kids and do what they're supposed to do. It's AAU ball, travel ball done right for sure. What was your recruiting process like coming out of high school, playing at Tampa Prep, playing with Q6? What was your recruiting process like?
I started playing with Q6 my junior year, so my first year was kind of slow. Going into my senior year, so my sophomore and the junior year was slow. Didn't really get any offers. I mean, I got some interest and stuff like that, but I mean, they're just letters. I don't believe in the letters and stuff like that. Everybody get letters. So I wasn't really high-headed on that. Basketball season came. We did really well. during the high school season. Coaches started calling me a little bit, small D2s, JUCOs, asking me what I want to go, if I want to go D1, if I'm looking to stay low. I didn't have my eyes set on that, but you never turn down an opportunity. So you always say, yes, coach, like I'm just looking for a place to play. So that looks good. If you're ever looking for a place to play, or you need help on what to tell people, always look for an opportunity and keep those in your back pocket. So my junior to senior year, I did real well on the circuit. I was getting a lot of I got a couple walk-on spots at some high major schools, but I wasn't looking to go pay for college or go like play for somebody and play behind people that I thought I was just as good as. So, it was slow for me. And then just boom, one day, like I'm starting to get calls from a lot of mid-major schools, and I didn't go on any visits. And I just kind of like wanted to pick based off the coaching staff, not based on what's at the school, because I believe that people get wrapped up in, oh man, like the campus is awesome. Like it ain't about that. I'm trying to go there. And if I want to play professional basketball, go make a name for myself, go put the school on the map, and then you'll have the recipe, and you can say that you did it your way. And so it was just it was a very slow process, man, and I really had to trust it. I really had to trust it, man. And I know my dad would love to hear me say me trusting the process, but that's really how it was, man. So I just sat down and kept working, let all the calls come in, didn't get too high headed, just sat there and just waited for my turn.
With all that being said, you ended up choosing to go to North Dakota State. Talk to me about what went into that decision. You kind of touched on some of the stuff, but what were some of the key things that went into that decision?
Like I said, man, coaching staff. The coaches at the time were, high volume coaches. North Dakota State's known for winning in the Summit League. I didn't know that. I had to do my research first. So I did my research. And then, they came and watched me work out. They had just lost, and the head coach came down and saw me right after, and he saw me work out in Hillsborough High School's gym. And it was, not too many people do that, you know what I'm saying, definitely after a loss. So it went a long way for me. And I just went with, the personality of the coaches over where the school was, man. So I went to Florida, North Dakota for 4 years, bro. It was a long 4 years, man, I say.
Definitely. You kind of touched on a couple of things, but what would be some of your best piece of advice to somebody going through the recruiting process, or somebody that might be up and coming that's soon to go through the recruiting process?
1% of people play Division I basketball. 1% of people play Division II basketball. 1% of people play Division III basketball. 1% of people play NAIA. 1% play JUCO. I don't know how many schools I just said, but if you add all that together, there's not a lot of percentages of people that get to play collegiate sports. So when the opportunity comes, whether it's JUCO, NAIA, D3, D2, if you want to play, obviously if you get in D1, then yeah. But, take every opportunity that you have, because there are people out there that are working just as hard as you. And if you don't answer that phone, they'll answer it, and they'll take the opportunity from you. And I heard there's a quote on our wall in our gym here, and it says, opportunities don't go away, they go to other people. And that's just how it is.
For sure. That's real life. Definitely, you said somebody always working as hard as you. Is definitely people working harder than you, people that'll do anything to get to where you are. So I definitely feel that. That's definitely major key for sure. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. What was it like getting to North Dakota State? You mentioned it being a long 4 years. I'm sure it was a good 4 years. You enjoyed the process, but what was it like adjusting, getting to North Dakota, coming from the city, and what was it like just being there?
Cold as mud in there, bro. But the city is good, man. Like the city, like anybody that's came to visit me, they'll tell you the city is nice. Besides the weather, the city's beautiful, man. Um, I can't describe it. It's a small city, but it was a culture shock for me, man. Just being from a big city like Tampa and then going to a city where you see the same people every single day is wild to me. So but my 4 years there were awesome. I have no regrets about going there. I have nothing bad to say about Fargo besides the weather. But it's a smooth place to be, bro. Trust me.
Most definitely. You mentioned earlier about just doing it your own way and making a name for yourself. Talk to me about how you just grew as a person, as a player, and how your game progressed over the years at North Dakota State.
My first year, it was a great year, man. I didn't think personally I wanted the red shirt, but my coach wasn't having it. He wanted me to play right away, and my dad told me I was crazy if I redshirted, so I didn't. We did really well. We were in second seed in the league, and then we lost first game in conference. And I watched that year taught me a lot. I watched people cry. After losing the game, and I'm just like, what are y'all crying for? Like, you're gonna be back next year. But I didn't really understand uh, how long, like how much work they had put in the past, 4 or 5 years that they had been there. So, me being a freshman, I didn't really know anything. My sophomore year, we were average, middle of the pack, man, and we just had a big separation between seniors and juniors and freshmen and sophomores. It was a complete split. There's no leadership. People were just kind of doing their own thing. Junior year, got a chance to lead a little bit. I wasn't a captain or anything because I turned it down basically, or I didn't really want to be. But those were the years, my junior and senior year, those were the years that really like helped me become a pro. Really learning how to get to spots that I'm effective at, learning how to take control of a situation, learning time and score, learning clock management, learning what situations best are my other teammates are best in, not putting them into bad situations. Um, Making it to the tournament, that helped us a lot, confidence wise going into my senior year. Senior year was just going out with a bang. I already got my tournament run. We already got our tournament run. I accomplished everything that I wanted to. So my senior year was going out, trying to make another championship, get another championship ring, and just rock the roof off the place every single night. No regrets and leave nothing left in the tank. Make sure they remember my name. And having that chip on my shoulder, going to now, it helped me out a lot those last 2 years, just taking advantage of the opportunity.
Sure. You definitely put on when y'all made it to the tournament. Just talk to me about that experience. That's everybody, not everybody, but that's a lot of people's just lifelong dream, making it to play college ball, period, making it to the NCAA tournament. What was that experience like?
It's insane, man. Red carpet everywhere you go, police escorts, the gear, all the people, all the dudes that you see on TV, ESPN be talking about. You see those dudes, like, so it was a surreal moment. Like it flies by, man. Like it's a moment that you have to sit. Like it's tough to remember because it went by so fast. But those are moments that you won't forget, if that makes sense. But it was cool, man. Playing against North Carolina Central. Ended up playing against one of my buddies. Like it was my buddy now. And then playing against Duke, meeting Coach K, playing against Zion and those dudes. I mean, that was cool too, man. But it was a great experience, bro. And, it was nothing like no other.
For sure. I've been playing at the JUCO level the past 2 years. I'm at the D2 level now. We played against Marshall the other day on ESPN Plus, and like I feel like that's probably the closest I've been so far to that kind of moment. And it was kind of just like, it was amazing just being in that moment, trying to be in the moment. Obviously, you want to focus on the game and this and that, what you got to do in the game. But like just knowing that you're on TV, knowing that people are watching, I already Like, I couldn't even imagine what it was like playing in the NCAA tournament and actually doing your thing. So I'm happy for you just being from the city. You were able to show what you were capable of and make a name for yourself, like you said.
You too, bro. You too.
So after you finished your career at North Dakota State, you ended up becoming a pro as you are currently. Talk to me about that process. What was it like? When did you know that you could really be a pro? And what's the process like going from college to NCAA to becoming a pro basketball player?
I knew at the end of my junior year after we played Duke, because I felt like I could keep up with them dudes. And then just going into my senior year, it was showing it. Like, my college coach told me, he said, you know, he told me and my point guard, he said, I know where you guys want to go. He said, but you also have to understand that we're trying to win another championship. So I need you guys to do what you're going to do, but you be sure that you remember that this is a team game. Like, not a team game, but this is, you know, remember who you're playing for. You're playing for those dudes right behind you. Like, you got to lead those dudes to another championship. I mean, I believe my teammates, you know, could hold their own. There wasn't anybody that I thought that, you know, really needed any, like if one guy had a bad night, that if me and my point guard either had a bad night, there was no doubt that I trusted the dudes behind me that we were going to win. So, you know, my senior year, me and him just knew we were pros, bro. Just, you could tell by the way we would walk on the floor, the way that we looked at other people throughout the season, like that were supposed to be, that were at high major schools. Like, you could just tell every single game, we just looked at them dudes like they were just ordinary people. I mean, they are, but, you know, those dudes that get high media attention, all that stuff, you know, but that's when we knew. Yeah, my senior year, bro. Just, that's when I kind of knew that, you know, I was going to be able to play pro.
For sure. Like we mentioned earlier, that's everybody, not everybody, but most people that's playing college basketball at any level, everybody wants to be a pro. You end up going overseas. You're in Germany right now. Just talk to me about what it's been like your last year, your first year overseas, and what it's been like this year so far.
My last year was wild because of COVID, so it was mad different. You know, last year. I was more of a factor, more of like a go-to guy. Like, I had to, you know, I had to attack. I had to, you know, last year was just getting the jitters out. This year is more of me developing into the pro that I need to be. Not playing. I mean, I'm still playing a lot, but I'm not playing as much as I did last year. So this year, I'm learning, like, really how to be that, you know, what teams need. You know, finding my role in the team's offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to, you know, drive to the basket, like, I can. But sometimes over here, you have to understand that every possession counts. So, you know, going to the basket, reckless abandonment is not really a good idea. This isn't college anymore. This isn't high school anymore. Each possession is worth double, because every possession somebody's going to score. Every possession, 75% of the time, someone's going to score, whether it's a 2 or a 3. So just learning when to take those opportunities to attack, and really taking those opportunities to know when to make that extra pass. And so I'm still trying to get more information on how to be a real role guy for certain teams, because certain teams are going to have you score, you know, make you score, make you attack. But sometimes you need to know when to, you know, call off the dog.
For sure. You just talked about adjusting from a team that you were at last year being a bigger piece to now kind of being more of a role player, just trying to learn the game more. Talk to me about just what it was like adjusting from coming from the U.S. to being in Germany.
It's different. I tell you what, because there's not. It's like college basketball, if I'm being honest. It's college basketball principles. So it wasn't really a big difference for me. But the difference, there were other differences that could definitely hinder you. So like I said earlier, when I was learning about time and score, that's huge here. You got to know how many fouls you have left in the quarter, whether you can use them or not. You have to know I mean, you got to know more things. You got to take care of the ball more. Each possession that you turn over is a guaranteed 2 points or 3 points. You got to know your personnel a little bit better. You got to know what percentages do they go left? What percentage do they go right? It's more at the professional level. It's more, what's the word? Meticulous. That's the right word. It's more meticulous. You gotta know every single thing about the team before you play them. You get a whole week. That's what the whole week is for. The whole week is for that one team, and then once you're done, you wipe it away, and then you get ready for the next one. But the American and overseas game is kind of similar, but there's little things that make it different. But it wasn't too bad, man. Pace is slower. Depends on the team, but pace is a little bit slower, and the game's a little bit more calculated.
For sure. A guy that's friends with my college coach, he was here working out in his preseason. At my school, he was here working out before he went overseas. He plays in Russia right now. And I tuned into a couple of his games, and I've been trying to see like what the differences are in the pro game. And it seems like it's really not. It was like compared to here in America, it seems like guys usually, well, in the league that I've been watching in his league, guys aren't really as athletic, but they definitely make shots and they definitely have a higher IQ. So I need to tune into you guys' games too. You got to send me some links so I can tap in.
Of course, I will. When I say kind of Europe, it's more so down. You have to have a high IQ. High IQ. It's more team based instead of one-on-one. America's more space out, dribble, get to the basket. Like over here, it's pass, attack, or pass shot, or you know what I'm saying. So it's you're running base sets. In America, you don't really run any offense like in the NBA. It's more of transition game and more of catch and shoot threes or get the ball to those superstars' hands.
If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Your pro career is just starting. You got a long way to go. Hopefully just a long, fruitful career being a pro basketball player. But what are some of your goals as a pro? Like, what do you see yourself doing in a couple years?
Man, everybody's dream, if you play basketball, is to be in the league, man. That's my number one at the top. But over the couple years, man, I just want to play. Each year I want to get better. I'm not worried about the money yet. Just worried about, putting myself in the right spots so that I can get to my number one goal.
Now we're going to start the last segment of the show called Crunch Time, where I ask a few crucial questions just to wrap up the show. What's been the biggest obstacle that you've had to face to get to this point?
Distractions, I would say just the grind is probably like the biggest obstacle, the times where things aren't going your way and you got to push yourself through those moments. That's probably the biggest obstacle.
What advice would you give to your younger self if you could go back in time a couple years and just tell yourself some things?
Everything gonna be all right. Like, just continue to trust it, continue to work, just keep your head down. No matter what people are gonna tell you, man, you just gotta believe in yourself. Everything's gonna be straight.
Definitely. What's one or two quotes that you live by that you take with you at all times to get you through your days?
Like I said, opportunities don't go away; they go to someone else. And my grandfather told me every time, that I said it, like all the time before a game, just be relaxed, be real relaxed.
What's something that a random person wouldn't know about you, but your close friends, your family, they know about you?
I'll never get off the game. Yeah. I stay on Xbox all day.
What are some of the biggest sacrifices that you had to make up to this point?
Hanging out with my friends, being with my family. All the stuff that you want. You gotta kind of say no to, like all the things that that come with being a professional. Everybody, all the things that you want. you got to say no to, because, you know, once you start getting those things, you get comfortable. And like, so my sacrifices I make is like, you know, doing all the partying and doing all the, you know, stuff that comes with the, you know, being a professional and stuff like that. Just to focus on yourself and continue to be hungry.
What's your why? What keeps you motivated? What keeps you striving to do great things, even though you've accomplished so much?
Because a lot of people, you know, a lot of people in my corner now weren't, you know, there in the beginning. And, you know, it's not like, you know, I have any ill will towards them or anything. It's just I know that with the work that I put in, that I'm still gonna prove a lot of people wrong. There's still people back home that still don't see like why I'm here, like why I'm supposed to be at. Like if there's more to me, they think this is just a ceiling for me. Like, so that's really why I keep going, man. Just to, you know, be like not an inspiration, but like just a model for other people to look at. Like, you know, dude went mid-major, didn't matter about where he went. He went to some small school in North Dakota, put it on the map, and now he's playing professional basketball. Like, I took the long way. Like, that's my why. Like, to continue the story of what happens when you trust the process and, you know, the fruits of your labor are reached.
If you could meet and spend a day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Kobe, of course, just to, hear his, just to, you know, spend the time with Kobe again, but like, you know, hear his mentality, or at least get one workout, or where I think about quitting basketball because I know that's how he works out. I don't know. Drake, you know, sick guy, gotta go. I don't know. I just got 2 favorite artists, and I go to lunch with my grandfather one more time.
For sure. That's a tough 3. R.I.P. to your grandfather. Drake. Yeah, that's a tough little 3 right there. Last question. I ask everybody, who do you think I should have on my show next?
My boy Juwan, another city legend.
Yes, sir. Juwan Durham. I need you on the show. If you see this, I'm a big fan. I appreciate it if you came on here, chopped it up with me. Definitely. Tyson Ward, again, I want to say thank you for taking the time to be a part of my show, do this, just starting out. It means a lot to me for sure.
I appreciate you having me, bro.
Yes, sir. Is there any last words you want to tell anybody that's watching, any motivation, anything you want to let people know?
What's up? If you see this, you back home, man. I miss y'all. Can't wait to be back home. When I get home, we're gonna go up. You know, if you still grinding, keep grinding. It's always grass, always greener on the other side. If the grass ain't green on the other side, you just gotta go a couple more yards and be straight.
Tyson, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Instagram, the Tyson Ward. I think my Twitter handle is just like Tyson Ward 24 or something like that. Something simple. Everything, you just type my name and you find it.
Yes, sir. All that'll be in the description below. I'll find that. Make sure I put that in the description. Y'all go follow Tyson. Keep up with him. Pro year, another year playing pro in Germany. Y'all keep up. But yes, sir. I appreciate it again, bro. Taking the time to do this. It means a lot to me.
I appreciate you having me, bro.
Yes, sir. See you guys on the next season. I appreciate y'all, everybody that's tuning in or that's been tuning in from the start, just now tuning in. It means a lot to me. Season 4 is a wrap. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show.